I declare this meeting open at 7 p.m. and welcome everyone to this evening's meeting of Ku-ring-gai Council. I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we meet today and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here this evening. As councillors, we are entrusted with the responsibility of representing the diverse interests of our residents. Let us work together in a collaborative spirit, respect diverse opinions and seek common ground for the good of Ku-ring-gai. Before we begin, I'd like to outline a few procedures in relation to this evening's meeting of Council. This meeting is being recorded and webcast live on Council's website. Only councillors and council staff will be shown on camera. Attendees must not make a recording or photograph of the meeting without prior approval. Council meetings are open to the public as observers only. In line with the Code of Meeting Practice, members of the public can address Council via the monthly public forum. Council may close part of the meeting to deal with certain confidential matters in accordance with Section 10A of the Local Government Act. These discussions will not be open to the public and will not be webcast. All attendees must comply with the Code of Meeting Practice and other relevant council codes, policies and procedures. Attendees must refrain from engaging in disorderly conduct, publicly alleging breaches of the council's code of conduct or making other potentially defamatory statements. Councillors, council staff and members of the public must ensure that mobiles are turned to silent during the meeting. Councillors and council staff must declare and manage any conflicts of interest that they may have about any item of business that is on the agenda this evening. I will first start with apologies. Are there any apologies from councillors? Looks like no apologies, and I just want to let everyone know that we do have Councillor Martin Smith, who is attending online via Zoom. Are there any apologies for staff?
Madam Mayor, there are. The Director of Strategy and Environment is on leave, and the Manager Environment and Sustainability, Jacob Seif, is acting.
Thank you. Are there any conflict of interest declarations for councillors? Councillor Alec Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to declare a non-pecuniary and insignificant interest in GB8 affordable housing strategy, as my wife is currently contracting at a not-for-profit community housing provider. As it is non-pecuniary and insignificant, I will remain in chambers and vote on the item.
Thank you, Councillor Taylor. Councillor Cedric Spencer.
Thank you. I'm declaring a conflict on NM2. It is non-pecuniary, insignificant. I'll leave the chamber. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Spencer. Are there any conflict of interest declarations for staff?
Madam Mayor, there are no direct ones.
Sorry, Councillor Jeff Pettit. I didn't see you.
It's okay. I'm declaring non-significant, non-pecuniary interest on NM2 and we'll be leaving the chamber on that one.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, so we'll go back to are there any conflict of interest declarations for staff?
Madam Mayor, there are none from staff.
Thank you. Are there any documents circulated in the councillors' papers to be dealt with at the appropriate time during the meeting?
Madam Mayor, there are. Firstly, there's a memorandum for GB1, Draft Community Strategic Plan, Resourcing Strategy Delivery Program and Operational Plan, dated 14 April. There is also a confidential memo for NM2, Norman Griffiths Oval, dated 14 April. There is also a list of submissions from the public exhibition of the Draft Affordable Housing Policy in relation to GB8, dated 8 April. And lastly, there is a late confidential item C1, which is a report on the acquisition of land for open space purposes, dated 9 April.
Okay, are there any documents to be considered in a closed meeting and not released to the press and public?
Yes, Madam Mayor. In relation to GB5, there is attachment 1, Smart Transport Advisory Committee nominee evaluation and recommendations. There's also attachment 2, Environment Advisory Committee nominee evaluation and recommendations. There is also the previously mentioned confidential memo for NM2 for Norman Griffiths Oval, and the late confidential item C1, which is a report on acquisition of land for open space.
Thank you. Now, can I please have a motion for these reports to remain in confidential, moved by Councillor Alec Taylor and seconded by Councillor Indu Balachandran. All those in favour? That is unanimous.
Madam Mayor, before we go any further...
Oh, sorry, Councillor Smith.
Before we go any further, can we just go back to NM2? We've got 2 councillors that have stated that they've got a conflict. May we ask the reasons for their conflict?
Okay, I can ask. It's up to the individual councillors how they answer that. So I will start with you, Councillor Spencer. Okay, that's fine. Councillor Pettit, would you like to expand on what you have already disclosed? Okay, thank you, Councillor Smith. They don't want to provide any more information.
So in the interest of the public, they don't feel it would be beneficial for the community to know why they're not interested in voting on such an important matter. But thank you.
Okay, all right. Just letting you know, with conflict of interest, it's up to the individual, and there is methods that you can, if you believe one hasn't been declared, there are ways of addressing that. Thank you. Now, we are up to confirmation of minutes. Can I please have a motion to confirm the minutes? So I've got 2 lots of minutes. We have the ordinary meeting of council on the 18th of March 2025, plus the extraordinary meeting on the 31st of March 2025. Can I have a mover of those minutes? I can see Councillor Alec Taylor and seconded by Councillor Barbara Ward. All those in favour? That is unanimous. And if I forget you because you're on screen, please just shout out, Councillor Smith, because I can only see you in a little square.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, we have no mayoral minutes. Petitions. Have any petitions been received by councillors or staff? Councillor Matt Devlin.
Madam Mayor, thank you. I received a petition from Justin Dorwood of Warrawee regarding pedestrian access and safety on Lamond Drive, Warrawee. This petition is calling on Council to prioritise investment in pedestrian access and safety upgrades within Lamond Drive, Warrawee, most notably that Council budget, plan and construct a footpath along the eastern side of Lamond Drive as a local priority, with the intent to complete the connection the whole way around the steep and increasingly populated Lamond Drive. This petition has received 10 signatures, and I would like to move that this petition is tabled and forwarded to the relevant council officer for appropriate action.
Thank you, Councillor Devlin, as the mover. Do I have a seconder? We have Councillor Kim Wheatley as seconding. All those in favour? That is unanimous. General business. I'd like to invite councillors to nominate any items on the agenda that they wish to have a site inspection for. Councillor Matt Devlin. Okay, no site inspections. Okay, general business items to be moved without debate. Now, can I please ask a councillor to nominate any items on the agenda that they wish to adopt as per officer's recommendation, allowing for minor changes without debate? Councillor Alec Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I would like to move the following items for voting without debate. General business items 2, 3 and 4. General business items 6 and C1. So just to repeat, that's general business items 2, 3 and 4. General business items 6 and C1.
Thank you, Councillor Taylor. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Barbara Ward.
Madam Mayor, I just have a question on GB2.
Do you want to withdraw it?
Okay, would you like to withdraw?
It's just a quick question, yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, we'll withdraw GB2, that's fine.
So that is now 3, 4, 6 and C1.
Okay. So the ones that we are moving are GB3, GB4, GB6
And C.
and C1.
Yep.
Okay. Do I have a seconder for those reports? Councillor Kim Wheatley, seconder. All those in favour? That looks like that's unanimous. Okay. So we will start with the first item of general business. The first item we have is GB1. Councillor Alec Taylor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I have a motion which I sent through actually just a short while ago to staff with a couple of minor changes. I will just quickly highlight the difference to the staff recommendation, which is to include the late recommendations advised by staff in a memo yesterday. And then there's point C, which is different to the staff recommendation, which adds a midpoint scenario for the special rate variation to the staff recommendation.
All right. Could I ask the governance team to also put that on the other screen, if you could, on the other side of the... Okay, do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Sam Nye as seconder. Councillor Alec Taylor, continue.
Okay, thank you. I won't prolong this discussion. This is primarily to reflect a change, a couple of late changes as advised by staff yesterday, and also to add a midpoint scenario between the two recommended by staff. So there was sort of a low and a high scenario recommended by staff in General Business Item 1, and this Part C adds a third midpoint scenario. The midpoint includes improvement to infrastructure, but without funding Marion Street Theatre, which remains in the top scenario, scenario 3.
Thank you, Councillor Taylor. Councillor Sam Nye is the seconder.
I've got nothing further to add. Thank you.
Okay, so you reserve your right. Are there any other speakers on GB1? Councillor Indu Balachandran.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and councillors. I'm speaking against this. I thank Councillor Taylor for his consideration, and the concern I have is that we've not had the time really to give this due consideration and discussion, and I'd like to see this deferred to closer to the time when we start to develop the SRVs. I have no kind of in principle issue with more scenarios. My concern is just timing and time to actually think through this as councillors. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Balachandran. Anybody else? Councillor Alec Taylor, would you like to sum up? Or okay, I will put GB1 then to the vote. All those in favour? That is... the amendment is the motion, I believe. Is that correct? Yeah. So we're voting on the motion. There is no amendment in addition on the table. Okay. So all those in favour is Councillor Taylor, Councillor Matt Devlin, Councillor Sam Nye, Councillor Kim Wheatley. Councillor, can't see your hand. Is that... Oh, sorry, that was... You were not fully on the screen. Councillor Smith and Councillor Kay. Those against? Councillor Jeff Pettit, Councillor Cedric Spencer, Councillor Barbara Ward, Councillor Indu Balachandran. The GB item is carried, okay, which is 6-4. Thank you. The next item is GB2, which is the investment report as at the 28th of March 2025. Councillor Barbara Ward, would you like to move that?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I just have a question.
Yeah,
before I move
we'll
it.
just move in second before we do that. And a seconder, Councillor Indu Balachandran. continue. Councillor Barbara Ward.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, I just have a question to the General Manager. Given the volatility of the markets currently, I'd just like to know where are we investing our funds, and is there a good risk appetite around it?
Through you, Madam Mayor. The Council's investment portfolio is not at a high risk currently. The reason why it's because Council does not invest in shares, so we're not vulnerable towards the volatility in shares. Council's investment portfolio is diversified through fixed term deposits, which are already fixed or have an interest rate that's fixed, and floating rates notices. So we have got some advice from our investment advisors, and that was the advice that we do not have a high risk in terms of volatility of our investment portfolio.
Thank you.
Are there any further questions or any further speakers? If not, I will put that to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Our next item is GB5. Do I have a mover for GB5? Councillor Indu Balachandran?
Yes. I'd like to move a motion. I think we've got...
Yep. And amend, yep.
Yes, so it's up there. I'll read it out.
Yep, oh, yep, you can read that out if you like.
Yes. So the motion is that the council appoint Councillor Alec Taylor as chair and Councillor Kim Wheatley as deputy chair of the Environment Advisory Committee for the remainder of the 24 to 26 mayoral term. That we appoint Councillor Sam Nye as chair and Councillor Matt Devlin as deputy chair for the Smart Transport Advisory Committee for the remainder of the 24-26 mayoral term. That we appoint the recommended community members to each of these committees for the 24 to 28 council term, and we amend the terms of reference for each of these committees to include provision for an eligibility list to fill vacancies with members appointed in the order recommended by the assessment panel.
Okay. Do I have a seconder for that? Councillor Barbara Ward is seconder. Councillor Indu Balachandran, would you like to speak?
Very briefly, yes, it just enables us to appoint the chairs and deputy chairs of both the committees today so we can get on with the work. And it also recognises that vacancies invariably arise in these committees between terms, and given we have strong applicants, reserves can be established and appointed when needed rather than going through a full selection process again. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Balachandran. Councillor Barbara Ward is the seconder. Would you like to speak?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to say they are good appointments, recommendations, and I endorse it. Nothing further.
Fantastic. Any other speakers? If not, I will... Oh, Councillor Indu Balachandran, you still have your light on? Okay, if there's no other speakers, I will put that to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous. The next item on the agenda is GB7, which is the Bushfire Management Policy Exhibition. If I could have a mover for GB7. Councillor Matt Devlin.
Madam Mayor, I'd like to move an amended wording for this motion. The staff already have the
screen.
tabled language.
And would you mind reading that out for us?
It is to amend the recommendation from 2 bullet points into 1 to bring it into line with other similar recommendations on this month's business papers. The revised wording is that the Bushfire Management Policy 2025 be exhibited for at least 28 days, and if any submissions are received, the matter be reported back to Council. If no submissions are received, that the Council adopt the policy.
Thank you, Councillor Devlin. And I can see Councillor Alec Taylor. Is that seconding? Thank you. Are there any speakers? Oh, Councillor Cedric Spencer.
I just have a question.
Yes.
To the mover.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no substantive change. It's just combination, just combining the... Well, the reason I ask is because I'm just too lazy to go to that page to check word for word.
Yes, Councillor Spencer, it is just to bring into line with where there's a couple of other recommendations and a few items which are all a single point. This is just bringing the 2 bulleted points into one, doesn't change the time frame.
It doesn't change anything.
No, nothing else.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? If not, I will put GB7 to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Our next item is GB8, and there's just a slight amendment, if the staff can put that up. And the change is just adding number 3, that the affordable housing policy be reviewed and brought back to council within 2 years. Okay, I think that's quite self-explanatory. Seconder, Councillor Indu Balachandran. All those in... Are there any speakers? No? Okay, all those in...
Just one minor tweak.
Sorry.
Can we add an apostrophe after councils on point 2?
Okay, we can do that for you, Councillor Nye. Okay. All those... We'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Okay, we have Councillor Barbara Ward, Councillor Indu Balachandran, Councillor Alec Taylor, Councillor Matt Devlin, Councillor Sam Nye, Councillor Kim Wheatley, Councillor Martin Smith, Councillor Kay. All those against? Councillor Pettit and Councillor Spencer. That being 8-2, that is carried. Okay, the next item on the agenda is GB9. Okay, Councillor Indu Balachandran, would you like to move? Yep.
Just move. I'll move the staff recommendation,
Yep,
please.
that's fine. Do we have a seconder? Councillor Kim Wheatley. Councillor Indu Balachandran, would you like to speak to that?
Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Kim Wheatley? No? Okay. There looks like there's no further speakers. I will put that to the vote. All those in favour? Councillor Pettit, Councillor Spencer, Councillor Ward, Councillor Balachandran, Councillor Devlin, Councillor Nye, Councillor Wheatley, Councillor Smith, Councillor Kay. All those against? Councillor Taylor. That being 9-1, that is carried. Thank you. Okay. The next items we have are the notice of motions. We have NM1. Could I have, okay, Councillor Matt Devlin?
Madam Mayor,
Would you like to move that? Yes.
Madam Mayor, I move that the motion be moved as printed, or accepted rather as printed.
I will second that motion, that notice of motion. Are there any speakers that would like to speak? No? All right, I will put that to the vote. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Okay, the next item is NM2. Okay, I know we have 2 councillors who will not be in the room at this time. Now, this is a confidential matter, so in accordance with section... Oh, I'll just, sorry, wait for them to leave. Okay, so in accordance with section 10A of the Local Government Act and the resolution of Council earlier this evening, this item is confidential and discussion will be closed. But I will need a motion to move into confidential session for NM2. Councillor Kim Wheatley moving and Councillor Barbara Ward seconder. All those in favour? That is unanimous. Okay. Councillors and staff will be leaving the chamber for our confidential discussion in another room for NM2. I will ask council staff to suspend the webcast and I will advise of an outcome on our return to the chamber. Thank you. Thank you. If I could ask the councillors, can I have a motion to move out of closed session? Moved by Councillor Taylor, seconded by Councillor Wheatley. All those... Oh, okay. Yeah. All those in favour? Unanimous with the ones in the room that can vote. Okay. So I will just go through what was resolved. While council was in closed session, we have resolved a motion as follows. That council endorses the actions in the note signed by the Mayor and witnessed by a councillor on the 15th of April 2025 that was voted for unanimously. Our next item is business without notice. Is there any business without notice subject to clause 9.3 of the Code of Meeting Practice? It looks like there is none. Conclusion of the meeting. There being no further business, I'd like to thank councillors and staff. I'd also like to thank members of the public for their attendance. The webcast of this meeting will be available on the council website and minutes will be published within the next 2 working days. I declare the meeting closed at 8:26 p.m. Thank you.